Let's do a few questions from the topic of algebra. Uh, the question asks us to form the partial fractions for this one. क्या करेंगे बेटा इसमें सबसे पहले? First we see, is it a proper fraction? Yes, we can make partial fractions for this one. 2x square plus 7x plus 8 divided by 1 plus x and 2 plus x ka whole square. How many denominators will we have? One will be 1 plus x. Well done. 2 plus x. Very good. So 2 plus x whole square. So the numerator for this one is a constant. So as this, same for this. Then we take the denominator on the left hand side, multiply it with the right side, and we get a multiplied by 2 plus x whole squared, b multiplied by 1 plus x, and then 2 plus x, and then c multiplied by 1 plus x. So now our priority is to eliminate and find the values of a, b, and c, but that's not always going to happen. First, if I take the value of x as very good -1, so that will eliminate b and c, and I'll be left with a only. Remember, this is the value that you're supposed to plug in on both sides. 7 into -1 plus 8, and a 2 minus 1 is 1, and the square of that is just 1. So I'll be left with a. So what is the value of a that I end up with? Three. Okay. Then what is the next value of x that we'll like to plug in? -2. That will ultimately eliminate b and a. Remember, this is a value that is supposed to be plugged in on both sides. -2 plus 8 is -c, or c. So what is the value of c then? What is the value of c? 1/2 or -2? -2? Okay. Then we already know the value of a and b, a and c. We can use those, and any value that we would like to plug in capital. Very good. 0 is a good option. 0, 0, and I'm left with 8 on right. The value of a I already know 3. 2 plus 0 is 2, and then squared is 4 plus b into 1 into 2 plus or -2 into 1. So what is the value of b then? -1. So b is -1. I'll just use the negative with the entire fraction. And c is -2. I'll just use a negative with the entire fraction. Are these the partial fractions that we end up with? Sure. Okay, we move on to the next task in the same question, which is this. Hence, obtain the expansion of fx in ascending powers of x up to and including the term x square. How will we obtain the expansion for this one? We'll be using its partial fractions, obviously. Can we say this is our function fx? And We can either take common in the denominator when needed. I'll take this one just to help you understand. I'll take it common in the denominator because I know I'll be taking it up, making the power -1, 2 upon 2, 1 plus x upon 2. Make sense? Any further simplification before we start expanding? Minus half into 1 plus x upon 2 to the power -1 and minus 1 plus x upon 2 to the power -2. Is that it? Yes. Okay. Now how will we expand it? We'll have to use the tricks that we have learned and practiced in the past classes. How will we go about doing this one? You see this and this. When the power is -1, that is our common expansion. We can use that common expansion and we can write that. चलो बाद में लिख लेंगे. Can I say that 1 plus x to the power -1 will simply be 1 minus x plus x square minus x cube and then so on? This, don't worry. These are the two expansions that we did. दोबारा देखो. I told you कि जब power -1 आती है ना, it is called a very common expansion. तो उसको हम, instead of just going through the entire process, we just use the expansion. Remember these two common expansions? What is so common about them? They have a power of -1. ये बहुत common होती है कि when we have a power -1, we did it even in this question as well. तो ये चीजें automatically cancel होती चली जाती हैं. N into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial, n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 upon 3 factorial. All these things end up cancelling out. सिर्फ signs बच जाते हैं. So instead of going through all this rigorous process, what will we do? We'll use these common expansions. अगर बीच में plus and the power is minus, so इस बीच में sign alternately fluctuate होता है minus plus and we can just use the second term and increase its power. बाकी टेंशन में पड़ने की जरूरत नहीं है. And if both of them are minus, power भी -1 है, बीच में minus है, तो all the terms will be positive and eventually the power of the second term is all that will increase. We do not need to go on n into n minus 1, वो सब cancel ही हो जाता है. Is this clear? These are called common expansions. Power -1 वाली जो expansions होती हैं, these are called common expansions and the examiner does not award us lots of marks for these ones. सही है? वो expect करता है कि ये तो बच्चा जल्दी ही करेगा. It's clear now? अच्छा, what about the second one, 1 plus x upon 2 to the power -1? How can I expand it? ये भी वही वाला scene है मेरे पास. Same thing. 1 plus, now the second term is x upon 2. X upon 2 plus x square upon 4. And if needed, I know I do not need it in this one, we're just writing to help you understand. Is this clear? Jaldi se hoyi wali expansions. Now the third one is where we'll have to invest our time and attention. Expand the third one. One plus first term is 1, then it is n into the second term, and then it is n minus 1 upon 2 factorial into second term का square. So what do you end up getting then? 1 minus x. And what is the third term? 3 positive 3x square upon 4. Now that you have expanded it, you can just plug them in the function and simplify. So 3 will multiply by 1 minus x plus x square. And then negative half will multiply by 1 minus x upon 2 plus square upon. And then minus 1 will multiply by 1 minus x plus 3x square upon 4. Is this clear now? Simplify, expand, and simplify and tell me what do you end up getting. एक एक करके बताओ पहले कांस्टेंट क्या है. Is the question only asking for x square? Up to and including the term in x square. So we'll need all the terms till x square. P upon 2 minus 3x plus x plus quarter x. 7 upon 4x and then 11x square upon 8. So 11 upon 8 x square. Interesting, you book the values. सही है गलत है. Let's do another similar question जिसमें दोनों हमारे पास आ जाते हैं. Partial fractions and then followed by binomial expansion. Again इसमें भी first step is very easy. First check, is this a proper fraction? Very good, nature. It's the order is 2 and so one of the denominators is x minus 2 and the other one is 2x square plus 3. What about the numerators? With x minus 2, what will be the numerator? Just a constant. Very good. And with the quadratic, it will be a linear term. Now 5x square plus 8x minus 3, a multiplied by 2x square plus 3, bx plus c. So what is the first value of x that we can take? 2. Very good. Trying to make x minus 2 as 0, we end up getting x as 2. 2 ka square 4, 4 5s are 20, 20 plus 16, 36 minus 33 is a 2 into 2 ka square plus 3. So mhm, a is 3. Now what is the next value of x that you would want to use? Let's jump. कर सकते हो 0 because b eliminated जाएगा, right? Once I plug in x as 0, that will eliminate my b and will help me in getting the value of c. 0 put किया तो minus 3. A की value I know it is 3 and 3 in the bracket plus c is what I need to find and 0 minus 2 is negative 2. So what is the value of c then? Is this what you're getting? That's right. Now you know the values of A and C's. You can easily find B by plugging in the value of X as 1, 5 plus 5 is 10. A is 3, 5 plus B plus 6, 2 minus 1. So what do you end up getting as B? Minus. Now be very careful when you're writing these as a partial fraction. If you're writing the value of B as -1 and C as 6, be very clear this minus cannot be associated with the entire fraction. If you want to do it, तो आपको 6 का भी sign change करना पड़ेगा. You'll have to change the sign of 6. So either write it this way, or the better way to do is just write 6 minus 6, and that will make things easy for you. Clear है? And the value of A is 3. Is this clear? समझ आई बात कि अगर माइनस आप लिखते हैं तो देन यू आर एसोसिएटिंग इट विद द एंटायर फ्रैक्शन, फिर वो माइनस पूरे न्यूमरेटर के साथ होना चाहिए. इज दिस क्लियर? गुड. Let's do the second part of this question, which is very similar to the one we just did. Right. Yes, what is our ultimate target if we want to expand? क्या करना था? बिल्कुल, we'll take it up, but objective क्या असल चीज before expansion? What is one thing that we need to be careful with? First must be one, जो variable के अलावा, which is not 1 second वाले में rearrange करेंगे. क्या common? What will we take common? Yes, -2. तो क्या common लेना पड़ेगा? Common क्या लेना पड़ेगा? -2 common लेंगे. I can just take it at common even in the denominator, and I'm left with 1 minus x upon 2. Is this clear or not? Denominator में भी ले सकते हो, ऊपर भी लेते तो power -1 लग के it would have been the same. And what about this one? I'll take 3s common and I'll be left with 1 plus. Is this clear? We can take common even in the denominator. ये ऊपर ले जाके भी करते तो we would have ended up getting the same thing. 3 upon 2, 1 minus x upon 2 to the power -1. And then plus 6, I'll just write it this way, 1 over 3 into 6 minus x into 1 plus. Make sense? Clear? Both expansions are of power -1, which are a very common expansions. Can you tell me what do you get when you expand it? And then that's very good. See, time saving हुआ. And we are, even the examiner doesn't expect us कि इस पे आप time लगाएं. भी बहुत common है, +1 -1. We are often have to do this. इसमें 1 over 3, 6 minus x. And what about this one? माइनस हो जाएगा ऊपर, प्लस एंड माइनस है तो ऑल्टरनेट हो जाते हैं साइंस. 2x square. And if you are ever confused, we can always go through the entire process and see करके और we still get the same thing. अब next में इसकी power 4 हो जाएगी. So do I need that? So I'll just write these two terms. चेक कर लिया करो कि sometimes, for example, यहाँ पे x denominator में भी हो सकता था. That power would have reduced. But we know whatever power you'll end up getting here, that can only increase after further expansion. So please be careful about this. So carry on. आगे क्या करेंगे? जरा देख लेना, when I multiply minus x with the square one, I'll get x cube, which is not required in the question. I've just ignored it. See? Is this what you're getting? One upon two, 13 upon 12 x and you're interesting you with the values. मैंने निकाली भी नहीं है. Whatever value you've got. A2 में आके भी फिर making. Now let's do a question regarding mod inequalities. Yes. क्या करते हैं इसमें, कुछ याद है, भूल गए हो? Give it a very good. We can remove mod by squaring both sides. And once we know we are squaring 6x plus 2a का whole square, 2x plus 3a का whole square. I've told you to use this trick. It will save time. Haven't I? Now this is a square minus b square. A plus b and a minus b. Is this clear? Time बचता है इससे सब कुछ. What two factors do you end up getting? Now it's a happy face. The two critical values of x are is this what we are in the apart? We're getting a different value, then let me know. One step still remains, that is to verify the solution. AI पहले देखो solution. Do you end up getting this inequality or this range? नहीं समझ आया तो let me know. नहीं आया? क्या प्रॉब्लम है बताओ मुझे उसमें. We are claiming that our answers are all between a over 4 and minus 5 a over 8. अब जब in between solution होता है तो what do I tell you? इसके beyond check करो कि कोई solution है तो नहीं क्या. So any value that is greater than a over 4, a over 4, a can be any positive constant. a ले लो, you cannot take one, a ले सकते हो. This is quarter of a, तो इससे बड़ी a होगा या नहीं होगा? So should a satisfy the original inequality as per our solution right now? It should not, right? So let's plug in a. 2, and this is we are verifying 3a plus a is less than 2a plus 3. So 4a come out, 8a is less than 5a. Is this true or false? 8a cannot be less than 5 no matter what positive constant you plug in. So this is false. That means this limit is satisfied. This limit is okay. What about this one? Minus 5a over 8. से छोटी कोई value लो. Very good. Minus 2a. So 2 and 3 into minus 2a is minus 6a plus a is less than minus 2a minus 4a plus 3a. So 2 and this is 5a is less than a. So 10a is less than a. This is also false. That means both the limits are correct. Both the limits are true. Is this clear now? समझ आया? Let's do another question. इसमें थोड़ा सा देखेंगे. This is regarding binomial expansion and the validity of an equation. Okay, let's start with this one. Yes, brilliant. What will we do in this case? Brilliant, college. We'll take 2 as common, और 2 जो common आएगा उसकी power भी -2 होगी. One upon 4 1 plus -2 to -x n -1. So 1 plus x square plus 3x square, sorry, 3x. Minus क्यों आया ये? Why did you get this as negative? Third one. -2 into -3, +6, okay? And the square of negative will again be positive. So you get this as positive. सही है? So this is what you end up getting. Now the question is asking state set of values of x for which the expansion is valid. For the expansion to be valid, the magnitude of the second one must be less than 1. Is that right? Yes. जो भी second term है उसका magnitude 1 से छोटा होना चाहिए. What is the second term in this case? X square upon, नहीं, second term this before the expansion, binomial expansion जो हम करते हैं before 1 plus x की हमने पढ़ी थी ना. And 1 plus x में we said that the magnitude of x must be less than 1, or x must be in between -1 and 1. So this is the one I'm talking about. X square upon 2 -1 और 1 के बीच में होना चाहिए. और can I say x square upon 4 का magnitude, sorry, upon 2 का magnitude must be less than 1. Or I can say that अभी this is not the final answer. Just wait for a minute. दोनों बातें समझ आई हैं. This is the second term in this case. हमने तो 1 plus x के साथ पढ़ा था. Is that right? This is the validity of the equation. But हमें पता है square for real numbers can never be negative. पहले तो multiply both of them by 2, तो हमारे पास आ जाता है -1 से लेके -2 and x square. Is that right? ऐसा ही है. अब we know that squares can never be negative. Negative तो नहीं हो सकता. Now this becomes a quadratic inequality. सिर्फ एक बचती है कि x square must be less than 2. So what do you get? If x square is less than 2, is that a happy face? Is it a happy face? क्या होंगे इसके critical points? Plus root 2 and minus root 2. So can you say that minus root 2 और root 2 के पॉजिटिव रूट 2 के बीच में x होना चाहिए. समझ आइए बात है नहीं है? Is this clear? क्लियर है नहीं है? थिंक ऑन दिस, समझो, पर लेट मी नो इफ यू आर अनेबल टू अंडरस्टैंड इट. बिल्कुल दे बिल्कुल दे. How will we try to attempt this? 1 plus 6x and the power is hmm? Cube root is what? Not minus, it's just 1 over 3. Cube root means power 1 over 3. नीचे से ऊपर पर जाते हैं तो पावर का साइन चेंज होता है. फोर्सफुली चेंज द पोजीशन ऑफ समथिंग बिटवीन अ न्यूमरेटर एंड अ डिनोमिनेटर. Square root is 1 over 2, cube root is 1 over 3, fourth root is 1 over 4. Is this clear? Now can you expand it? The first term is 1, that is all that you need to be careful with. N into n minus 1 upon 2 factorial into the square of the second term, n minus 1 n minus 2 upon 3 factorial, and the cube of the second term. You can use your calculator, simplify, and tell me what do you get. क्या आया? 1. Yes, beta, what do you end up getting? Minus 4x square and plus 40 upon 3x cubed, like the same thing. Is this clear now? Hmm? Now the second part is about the validity. And when is this expansion valid? What would we say the second term, the magnitude of the second term must be? I can say that in this case, is this right? Can I say that x must be in between? Make sense? Is this clear now? So this is called the validity of the equation. I told you the only thing that you need to worry about while expanding these binomials is that the first term must be 1. और validity को अलग से ही पूछता है. It's asked separately. You only need to be concerned with that the first term should be 1. That is the only thing power view rational देगा. Do not worry about anything else. Just know what the validity is and be sure that the first term is 1. Is this clear? समझ आ गया? That's it for today.